Okay, Dave Jones, before we get to the particulars...
Are we on?
We are on.
Oh.
That's the key when I start talking to you.
Am I alive?
Usually
That's
it means
question.
we're on. Before we get to the particulars, let me just ask you, have you ever seen performance like Saquon Barkley's tonight?
I know people can't really try to understand and don't care what we go through, but I don't want to go through that again. That was to try to have to describe in basically 45 minutes that game is hard. It's really hard because there was so much going on in that game.
Right.
So much incredible stuff going on in that game that you can't even get to it all. Do you realize Penn State ran 99 plays and almost lost?
Yes.
Very nearly lost the game. Saquon Barkley ran for 211 and that wasn't the best thing he did. It was an amazing game, and how lopsided it should have been, could have been, on the stats it was, and yet it goes down to the very end, the very last play. It's the most nerve-wracking game I've ever been a part of. It was probably the best finish I've ever been a part of, and the best running performance I've ever seen.
So you haven't quite ever seen performance.
And I didn't come close to describing that in print. I mean, it was impossible.
Yeah. Well, and just forget the numbers. 358 all-purpose yards, 211 on the ground, 94 as a receiver, and they threw to him a lot, and 53 in the return game. 358, a Penn State single-game record. But Dave, hot night, 40 touches, and he never really showed signs of slowing down. That to me was incredible.
Yeah.
The
hurdle play.
He did that late in the game.
In the fourth quarter, he did it. He was going that way. Remember? He hurdles one DB, and these weren't linebackers; they were DBs who have some spring to them. Hurdles one, then lands on the other one, and somehow still keeps his feet to get a 3rd and 6. It was incredible.
So without burying the lead too much, Penn State still had to go 80 yards in 12 plays in the final minute and 40 after the second of 2 amazing Akram-Wadley touchdowns. Put Iowa improbably
And the place is
ahead.
losing its mind, and I'm really, really sad that this is a brand new press box here, and we can't hear anything. And it must have been the loudest crowd, but it's like hermetically sealed, so you don't hear what's going on, but the place you could see was just losing its mind.
Right.
And we should have been in an open air press box to hear what Penn State was facing, what the Nittany Lions were facing at that point, where McSorley has had everything blow up in his face all night.
Right.
He doesn't have much confidence, and he had to take that team down the field. That was really impressive. And he had to throw that final ball with faith. That's the only way you can describe that. How many guys have you seen who have a night like this at quarterback, and Barkley couldn't win the game for him at the end? They had 7 yards to go, 4 seconds to do it, 1 play to do it. Had to be him. Had to be Trace McSorley.
The window is like this big, and
he threw that sucker with faith. He didn't baby it. He threw it. He zinged it, and it's only because he threw it like that that it got through 5 bodies. I mean, almost. Deshaun Hamilton ran into Juwan Johnson almost from the other end. It was incredible.
Trace was 7 for 11 on that drive, 61 yards before the touchdown. He converted the 4th and 2 with the slant to Saeed Blacknall. Also ran for 12 yards. Between Briarwoods in Virginia and Penn State now, as a starting quarterback, Trace McSorley is 70-8, and it's not a fluke. You got to beat him for 60 minutes
and beat on him, and you still can't knock him out of the game.
If you give him a chance to get you at the end of the game, he's probably going to get you.
And you know, we're all saying, and we're hearing it. Put in Tommy Stevens. You know,
one of our buddies was chirping the whole game about it.
Forget that. I'm thinking about it. But what happens if you do that? You're carving out the beating heart of your team. You can't do that. You can't do it. He didn't need to be benched. He needed to be given a chance to improve his own chances because he needed a little help. He needed a little strategizing. And very frankly, Phil Parker he might have put a template up here on how to beat these guys. Take away the big play, funnel try to encapsulate McSorley in the backfield, in the pocket, make him throw from back there. He looked like he was having trouble seeing. He was hesitant on some throws. That's how teams are going to play this team, I think, from now on.
This team is tough in close games, man.
Yeah.
They are really tough. And in the Big Ten, you know,
and what did this game remind you of from 12 years ago?
Yeah, the Penn State-Michigan game the other way around.
The other way around.
The Mario Manningham game, the Chad Henne game.
Think of all the games where they in the past, other teams didn't always come through in these situations. These guys do.
Yeah.
I mean, they are mentally, emotionally tough.
They're going to be talking about this one for a long time.
I guess that's it. I don't have anything to say. I don't know who I am. I don't know what my name is. But anyway, we're in Iowa until the next time. Sayonara.